Hello and welcome to the Bright Show right here on ATU TV with me, Bright Wache. And today I have here Andy Manarh, who is aspiring for SRC President. Andy, you're welcome to the Bright Show.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bright, for having me here.
Wow, I like your dress. I really like
Thank you
it.
very much. I'll get you one after the show. Don't worry.
Wow, promise.
Oh, yeah, it's a promise. Rest
Everybody, you
assured.
are here. All right, so Andy, could you please introduce yourself? Who are you?
Okay, so I'll be very brief. My name is Andy, or you can call me Manarh Andy. Okay. And I was a former speaker of ATSRC General Assembly, and I'm doing my tech top up in ATU here in electrical engineering, aspiring to become the ATU SRC president for this academic year.
Wow. So, what motivated you to run for SRC president?
Okay, so I'll pick my motivation from experience. Okay, so I had the opportunity to serve as a speaker of the General Assembly.
Okay.
And then serving as a speaker, I realized that there's a lot of things that we can do for the student body, like a whole lot which you can talk about, because day in, day out, there are challenges that we face, there are issues that come up, and then the world itself is evolving. And then where I find myself, I see that we can bring about change, not just any change, but positive change when opportunity is being given to you. So I told myself, okay, so why not go for this position? Having had the experience, you'll be able to do better for the students. So I started my journey. Lo and behold, I've gotten to this stage.
Wow. Wow. So, do you have any vision for the student? Because they really want to see you working for them.
Okay, so I'll just summarize my vision because I'm sure as we are having this conversation, we'll go more into details. So it's an idea that I've had since I was in HND. That the standard of ATU can be raised to reach that of Harvard University. That is a total vision if I should break everything down. Yes, to reach the standard of Harvard University.
Wow.
Why? Because let me refer you to back then, that was last year when I was serving as speaker. That was when ATU had the opportunity to be recognized as was the fourth best university.
Yeah.
And we can do better. We shouldn't be intimidated by whatever university that is around or whatever university that is famous. We can also raise our standard to reach that height.
Okay. Okay, but can you share with us some of your policies or what? Yeah, your policies.
Okay, so since this is a political game, I wouldn't really talk much into detail, but I'll give you a breakdown, as I said, about raising the standard. So there's one thing that I've realized that ATU here, during election period or during the time that we are having election, okay, a lot of students are going to come to you, talk to you, promise you. Some of them are things that they may not even be able to achieve, but they will tell you that they could do for you. Okay. So I sat there and realized that no, we can create something like a standard where each administration that comes has to achieve a particular set goal before they leave. Because let me tell you the fact, you see, when we talk about student leadership, it's service. Okay. So we shouldn't dwell on promises and all those things. It should be something that the individual can be able to achieve before they leave office. Okay. So I want to achieve something that I call a standard for the entire school, where if I should even leave office or leave power as the president, an administration that will take over should be able to achieve before they leave. So let me put it in this scenario. Assuming we are able to amend our HSRC constitution and create provisions where every administration has to or must leave a project behind before they leave office. I'm sure any leader that will take out that position will be compelled to do something. Because over the years, I've witnessed administrations who have come and then some of them, they focus much in entertainment than achieving projects for the students or bringing on board something which is feasible. Yeah, so that is a breakdown of the vision that I have for ATU and then a policy that I have.
Okay, so some time ago, I saw your flyer and then I saw this name on it, Ford Factor. What is Ford Factor? We don't know about it. What is it?
Okay, so the Ford Factor is an inspiration I picked from our former president, Kwame Nkrumah.
Okay.
He is somebody who always looks on to what must be done without looking forward to the glory that comes with doing it. So Nkrumah is somebody who is a visionary, and then he believes that we should always make positive mindset of moving forward into the future.
Yeah.
So the Ford Factor is something that's going to bring about progressive change, okay, into the future or bringing ATU forward. Okay, that's what the concept of the Ford Factor is all about.
Okay, wow. All right, so students are complaining about the poor internet connection here on campus, and that is what they use for their online and then research. So, as the president or aspirant, what are you going to do to address this solution?
Okay, so I had opportunity to visit Regional Maritime University some time ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a friend there. He was serving as the SRC president. So then
Mm-hmm.
I go there to sit with him, and then we join and then talk about issues, especially concerning student matters.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just talking, and then after the discussion, he asked me to, give him my phone so that he connects their school Wi-Fi for me. So the moment he connected the Wi-Fi, I realized that I had a lot of updates to do, which I was supposed to use Wi-Fi to do.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, everything that I had to install was just running very quick,
Mm-hmm.
as compared to when you come to ATU here, where even visiting Google is a problem when it comes to a Wi-Fi connection. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's not just about we getting the wireless connection, but also assisting the students with data SIM cards.
Okay.
Because when I was in level 100, that was when Desmond was president, His Excellency.
Mm-hmm.
We had opportunity to receive this data SIM card, which we're using to access the online platform. And we're able to call our friends who are having the same SIM cards for free.
For free.
So, as part of my initiatives, I've decided that when opportunity is being given to me, each and every student will have access to data SIM card. Even if it is not from the SRC, it could also come from management,
Okay.
where maybe if a student is admitted, it will be part of their fee to pay. And then from time to time, we'll be updating them with data which they can use to access their online
Mm-hmm.
class. We all know that for sure the online class has come to stay.
Yeah.
And since it has come to stay, we must adapt to that system and then
Mm-hmm.
find primitive ways to solve any problems that come with it.
Okay. So that means that you are bringing back the past SRC president's policy. I mean, initiative concerning the data bundle.
Sure, definitely. Because I myself, I felt it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was good. I wasn't buying data like I used to buy now. So we could still bring it back.
Okay. Okay. So I have here with me my audience. I mean, they are here with me, and they have a lot of questions to ask you. Yes. So my audience, please, do you have any kind of question that you want to ask?
Yeah, I have a question. So, as we were speaking, you said you have served as the speaker for the past SRC president.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, you said that it means you have experience, right? So, what legacy did the past or you being part of the past SRC president left in the school for us?
Mm.
Okay. So when it comes to administration, you see, SRC is a continuous administration. That's one aspect. And whatever legacy that is being left behind, all those who are within the particular administration benefit from. Or if tomorrow you go out there and you're like, oh, this project was undertaken by this particular administration, your name may be mentioned. Okay. So when I was serving as speaker, you see, when you go to General Assembly, the various leaders come and then we draw together and see how
Mm-hmm.
we can solve problems on campus. So I realized that most of the leaders who came, they were more centered about their department. If you ask them, what do you want us to do as SRC? One person will tell you, oh, my department, the urinal there is not functioning properly and students are finding challenges. Someone will tell you, my department, there are no furniture. Someone to might tell you a different story altogether. So I sat down and realized that somebody raised a point that students don't get places to sit to learn,
Yeah.
especially during examination period,
Mm-hmm.
because normally the various library will be full, the study center will also be full. So why not come up with an outdoor bench or
Okay.
benches where students can sit down and then have their personal discussion?
But there are lots of benches around.
Yes, there
Are
are
you going
some
to add
around.
more to it?
Yes, so we were able to add some. So you made mention that what legacy do we leave behind?
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So we
Okay.
were able to start that project. That is the outdoor bench project, the concrete
Mm-hmm.
benches that we have on campus. Now, if you go to in front of SLT department,
Mm-hmm.
you see that you situated some benches outside. A lot of students go there to use that place,
Yeah.
and the place can accommodate like 40 students because I decided to count the number of people who can sit in that particular area. And rather than no, we can have about 40 people seated at a particular moment
Mm-hmm.
when the place is supposed to be full. When you go around the school clinic too, you see some around in front of the clinic and then in front of the school lodge as well.
Okay.
And also just behind the electrical block too, we have some there. And then there's one also at the fashion department where these fashion ladies also go there to sit and then
To
have
learn it.
their
Okay.
free time.
Okay.
Secondly, so that same administration that advocated for furniture. So if you go
Mm.
to the electrical block, you see that there's some furniture there and the date on it is 2023,
Okay.
which means that it was that particular administration when we were having furniture problems, we advocated for it, and then lo and behold, management was able to provide. Because
Okay.
I remember, I'm not supposed to be saying this on the show, but I remember one of my members walked out on me because I was not binding him when he spoke about furniture issue.
Whoa.
Because somebody had already mentioned it, and I told him, say, oh, we've noted it down, and then we would work on it. Then he also raised the same concern. So lo and behold, when I pushed to the president, we were able to get it, to get furniture for the student body to use.
So it was your plan. Was it
Yes.
your
So
plan?
ideally, it was a plan from the General Assembly.
Okay.
But whatever that transpires is from what I'll present to the president.
Oh,
Because as a leader of the General Assembly, when you're done with the meeting, you're supposed to submit your meeting precedents and documents to the president. Then you advise him on what should be done. Because at that instance, he or she wouldn't be the one chairing the meeting. You as a speaker will be the one to chair the entire meeting. So you are like a representative of the president there. So when you go, you're supposed to advise him that, oh, president, I think this and this should be done, because that's where much of the energy was focused on. Or if you do this or do that, the students on campus will have a comfortable stay or a comfortable life.
Okay, conducive environment.
Definitely.
All right. So do you have another question? Any question?
So currently we face water problems with our washrooms. What can you do about that?
Okay. So as part of my policies, I'm glad he has mentioned it, but I wouldn't try to hide policies or something. I have come up with a quotation that operation let the water flow. You understand?
Let the water
Let the
flow.
water flow.
Wow.
You understand? So I was also in the school hostel,
Okay.
and it's funny how the water flows as if, let me use in quotes, we are prisoners there. Okay. So the water may come in the morning, and in the afternoon it wouldn't flow unless in the evening from a particular time to another time.
Okay.
So when it starts flowing, it means that day maybe you might have bathed only once in a day. Then you have to wait till the following morning or come down to fetch water from the polytank. So there's a challenge when it comes to ATU water supply. Okay. Because when I made inquiries, I was told that some years back the water was flowing constantly
Okay.
until residents and then people around started tapping from the same source. Do you understand me? So maybe from the same supply from Ghana water. Now other people are also tapping from the same source as well. That's what's causing us to have limited amount of water on campus. Okay. So what we are looking at is to come up with a strategy to get a pipeline for ATU alone. Okay. But I'll tell you for a fact, it will take a very long time. And if I should
For how
become
many years?
okay, so it could be like about 3 years or 5. Yes.
For the operation
Let the water flow
to be
But
established.
exactly.
Wow.
But as I made mention earlier, SRC is a continuous administration. So if you want to achieve that policy, or if I want to achieve that policy, what I'll do is that, or what I'll be doing is that, one, it's going to be under contract.
Okay.
And then when that contract is being given, it means that any administration that comes will have to continue it. You get me? A typical example is if you take our SRC complex. So it wasn't just one administration that built it. It started from one administration, and then over the years, another completed it. That is what we are looking at. That's the kind of focus that we have in mind.
Okay.
It's not just about you, the individual alone, coming to do what you want to do and go. But if we start a project and then for some time frame, the administrations that will come will be able to help complete it.
Okay.
That is the idea of operational water flow.
Okay.
So if we start today, somebody else will be able to continue it, or somebody else must continue it. Because one thing that I've learned is that as human beings as we are, it is just life that we have, and then breath, and then we may all leave the world. But if you have an idea, even 400 years to come, that idea will still live. You understand? So that is the idea that we have when it comes to these challenges.
Okay.
Especially when it has to do with the water supply on campus.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions?
Let me ask this.
Yes. Ask more questions.
Yes. See, the way you are talking, I'm much concerned about the way you are talking. And as a matter of fact, let me voice this out.
Mhm.
Students a lot of students are saying they're not going to vote. Why? And the reason is that they said when they are coming, they say this, they say this, they say this. They say they will do this fast, they will do this fast. So because of that, they come on position, and then all what they said, like I mean, they don't go by it. So as a result, students say they are not going to vote. A lot of students say they are not going to vote because anytime a candidate want to be in a position, he say, "Oh, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this," and then when they come on position, they are not doing. So what are you going to do to break that? How do you call
The mindset.
yes, the break that mindset from there. Because in the same way, you also come on position, you're telling us, okay, this. So what
The
are you going
same
to do?
process.
Yes, so that's what I want to hear from you.
Okay, so with this particular problem, I wouldn't always blame those who are in the office. Sometimes too, I'll blame the student body because most of them they don't really pay attention to detail. Let me put it that way. That is example is last time I was talking to some students, sharing my idea and vision with them, and one made mention that when they get opportunity to get there, they neglect them. So the person made reference to the current president that when he had opportunity, he has neglected them. Then I reminded the person that no, you shouldn't speak that way. Try and then make follow up on the current status of the school. Okay, we can see that currently the administration is taking a project for the students where they can keep their bags,
Operation Save Your Bag.
save your bag, and then also with the digital board that we can see that is being installed now. Now, this digital board is something that people are going to come and then advertise their products on. That's one aspect of it, which can generate funds. These funds will also be what channeled into what maybe sponsoring students when it comes to their fees and all those things. Okay. So with the mindset of when they get to the top, they don't do anything for us. It's something that we should also try and then take out of our heads, because until you haven't seen anything, that is when you can say, oh, when they came, they didn't do anything for me. But if you make follow up, make inquiry, realize that no, they are doing this, they are doing that, you should be proud. Because let me tell you what, people think when you get to the top, they just carry huge sums of money and give to you that take this money and use for use to run your administration. But last year there were about 23,000 students on campus. That was the assumption. Now, before you get the dues of that student, because any project you want to undertake, it is through these dues that you can do it. Okay. So before you can get the dues of a student, and it means that the student must have paid the entire fees. 100%. So if we are 23,000 and only 3,000 have paid their fees, we are going to get a fees of what? Only what? 3,000. We will not be given the dues of the entire school, unless the person has paid the fees fully. You understand? So now, when you get this amount of money, the activities that you also have to do. All right. Now, with these activities, too, some of them will incur cost. That is buying items and then maybe asking people to come on board to come and do the work. Okay. So what we should be looking forward to is that we, the students ourselves, will try and then pay our fees as early as possible. Because if we want to see real progress, it is through the finances. Okay. But if the administration starts with a project and they are undertaking something or doing something on campus, I'll urge our students to be proud of it, because you will not get it easily. Like the way maybe you see that back then and think and they get money and they don't work. No, it is not like that. It's a different ball game altogether. Unless you get there, that's when you see the reality. So most of the aspirants I'm seeing today, I wouldn't say they are promising them though, but because I don't know how they will tend to achieve it. When you get there, that is where you see the actual reality. You see, and then it is one thing working there and sitting back and observing it. You understand? So we are looking forward to coming up with strategies, that can help generate funds to undertake like projects rapidly. Okay, so that the students wouldn't feel like when they got there, they exempted us. You understand? So as part of my policy, let me add that there's one aspect of it that talks about one department, one project. Okay, one department, one project.
Is it your new policy?
It's a new policy that I'm bringing on board. Now, with this one department, one project, it's something that we are going to do through sponsorships. Okay. Now, I know definitely each and every student belongs to a department. So if you undertake a project for a department, I'm not sure the student will say, when they came into power, they didn't do anything for me. At least when you go to your department, you'll be told that SRC is undertaking this project for the purpose of we the students in this particular department. Okay, that is something that I want to do so that the students on campus wouldn't feel like when SRC came to power, the focus was somewhere else and not on their department.
So
or
you're
they
saying that this
individually.
policy will be based on scholarships, right?
I'm saying that this policy is for each department.
Sorry,
That's one.
sponsorship.
Through
Rather.
sponsorship, through SRC funds, through fundraisers, and all those things. So it will come from diverse sources. You see, SRC has the power to do a lot.
Yeah.
But if you don't realize your potential and then how best you can go and then get those funds for the progress of the school, you will not be able to achieve unless you sit down and then ask yourself, oh, as SRC, what power do we have? Where can we get funds from? Then when you're able to get those funds, you can allocate them to those particular departments for their project to be undertaken.
Wow. Wow. Back to my audience. Is there any question that you want to ask? Yes, let's go.
I think we have some issue on board
Okay.
that the school souvenirs that students cannot receive, mostly the school club. So how are you going to help us when
The school cloth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so with the school clothes also, I'll talk from experience.
Mhm.
When I was in level 100, when I came fresh, I didn't get opportunity to get a cloth. It was when I got to level 200. Why?
Before.
Because yes, before I got the cloth. Why? Because it follows a process. Because the clothes are not made in Ghana here. They are imported from China
Oh, okay.
mostly. So the administration to leave office will make every necessary arrangement for the clothes to come. So it means that if this administration in power now is leaving office, then those who are level 100 now will get their clothes when they get to level 200, even though they were the ones who procured them. Okay, so I think at some point there wasn't any procurement made
Okay.
for that particular souvenirs to come on board. Okay, that is where some students don't have it. But I remember when we were leaving office, myself, I made inquiries, and then I saw some images of the cloths being produced.
Okay.
So the more reason why during this particular tenure we haven't had them is because of some delay that has occurred. Okay, but I'm sure that definitely it's going to come, and I'm sure that this administration will also make arrangements for those who are level 100 now for them to get.
it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So last question from my audience. Last question.
So
Yeah.
as part of your thoughts, you were like students need to pay their fees before we get dues and stuff. So what measures are you putting in place to help students who can't afford their fees?
Okay, so I believe that at least majority of students will be able to afford their fees in full. Majority, but a few of them may not be able to get. That is, let's say some people who are needy, okay, maybe from their background or where they are coming from. So we will be able to communicate or let those who can pay their fees know that they are supposed to pay their fees as early as possible. Because I know majority, as I said earlier, majority of them will be able to pay. Now, this majority, they will be the ones to, help us get the funds to do whatever project you are supposed to do.
Okay.
Now, when this majority are able to pay their fees, we'll take some of it to support the students' scholarship scheme. That's the Boawunya.
Okay.
Yes, over the years, we've had this running. And then those who are not able to pay their fees get some monies to pay either fully or part of it.
Okay.
You understand? Because after all, the ultimate goal is academic excellence. So through that, we'll be able to assist those who can't pay their fees. Now, secondly, as I said earlier, you should be able to identify your potential so that you go the extra mile.
Okay.
So as SRC, you should be able to take it upon yourself that we have students here who are not able to cater for themselves. Now, you as SRC has to go out there to secure places for them or to seek sponsorship for those people. That's the power that SRC have, because the school is a corporate body, and the corporate bodies they like to work with corporate bodies. Me as an individual, I can't write to let's say Unilever for sponsorship that it will come easily. But if we are writing to them as student representative council, concerned students, now if you write to them, they will be willing to accept you. Maybe they will come with some terms and conditions that okay, if you are assisted this way, we are also going to maybe be our brand ambassadors,
Okay.
and we can all work hand in hand. So through sponsorship, and then through some majority who can pay their fees, the few will not be able to pay can be catered for.
Okay.
That's the best way.
Okay.
Other than that, we'll have to maybe generate funds eternally. We have a lot of lecturers around who will be able to support their initiative.
Okay.
I also came up with an idea when I was in the HND that has to do with recycling for sponsorship.
Mhm.
You see, because ATU generates a lot of waste when it comes to plastic. So through that initiative, generation of income through recycling,
Okay.
we'll be able to help sort these issues out.
Wow. Okay, Andy, thank you so much for being on the show. And I really like the way you answer the questions.
Sure, thank you very
Yeah, we'd
much.
like to see you another time. Thank you very much. And also, thanks go to my audience for giving out, interesting questions to the aspirant. Thank you very much. This is where we end the Bright Show. My name is Bright Wache. See you next time.